Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Okay, welcome to Psycho's Platters, episode 65, in tribute. That's what I'm calling it. Um, I'm not going to show any records today. This one here is actually an opinionated music piece, okay? I posted on my Facebook earlier today that there was an episode that I wanted to shoot. I may do two Psycho Platters this weekend, so that might be nice. But this one here is kind of just bothering me a little bit. Um, if I'm anal retentive on all of this, just forgive me. But like I said, I stress that this is an opinionated piece. This is not gospel truth or whatever or set in stone. Okay, but let me get to my reason of bother. How about that? Um, I found out. Okay, um, do a lot of you people out there in the vinyl community like to go to concerts? I'm assuming so. I do. I used to go to about 10 to 15 shows a year. Unfortunately, life has happened more. So I've only been to two or three this year. But where I'm going on this is that I have found out literally in the last couple weeks that some of our beloved 70s bands and even 60s bands um, have gone off and changed. Now, what do I mean by this? Let me throw a couple pieces of music news. Some of this may be old. Some of this you may have just heard for the first time. I don't know. But here's one piece, okay, that was brought up, if I remember correctly, in July, mid to late July, okay. Paul Revere from Paul Revere and the Raiders, been around since 1958. He is a cornerstone in rock and roll. That whole band is classic. They need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, they have they were the epitome of funky garage rock. Okay, I mean they had a lot. They had a lot of hits. Let's face it. All right, and their last one, Indian Reservation, sold 6 million copies. Well, Paul hasn't been feeling really good. Okay, he's 70. He's in his 70s, his mid 70s, if I remember correctly. And so he finally decided that he is hanging up his tricorner hat and retiring. Sir, I commend you. You have given us 56 years of, well, great entertainment. You, Mark Lindsay, Fang, Drake, all of them, Smitty. And but here's where it kind of just irks me a little bit. They have decided in good thinking anyway to change the name from Paul Revere and the Raiders to Paul Revere's Raiders. Okay, essentially being a tribute band. Now, I don't know. Okay, the reviews that I have read on Paul's website, Facebook pages, band group, band fan groups, it's mixed. Okay, another one that's gone off and done some recent music news. Steve Walsh, the lead singer of Kansas, has decided he retired. Okay, after being with the band for most of 40 years. Okay, except for what, two albums. And but it was kind of quiet. They didn't go off and mention who the replacement was at first. The band has carried on. It's down to two original members, Rich Williams and Phil Ehart, are your original members of Kansas. But they have gone off and replaced him with a guy that used to be in a Kansas tribute band. He also sang with Shooting Star for about 5 years. The thing is that the band is coming to a casino near me, and the posters still have Steve's face on them. Now, I don't know. To me, that's deceptive advertising. Maybe I'm like I said, maybe I'm being anal here, but I'm glad I got to see Kansas in '97 for $4 in the 10th row on an outdoor festival. Really cool show. Oh, jeez, was it great? But what if, some diehard Kansas fans go there to discover that Steve's not there? It's somebody else. Would you feel gypped? Would you feel robbed? Okay. Another one that, and seriously, I just found out about this a day or two ago because this had to do with Molly Hatchet. We'll get to Molly Hatchet in a minute, though, because there's another reason why I'm bringing this up. But in the thread, it was brought up that Larry Junstrom, the bass player of 38 Special, okay, he's been there for many, many years, second album on, I think so, 78, 79. So he wasn't technically an original member, but he pretty much, you could almost call him one. And of course, he was an original member of Skynyrd. He retired in the spring of this year because, well, of health reasons. He had to have surgery on his hand, so he pretty much had to retire from music. That wasn't necessarily the big to-do, though. I mean, I feel bad for Larry, and I hope he heals well. But it says just a little bit down past that Donnie Van Zant hasn't sang with the band since 12 because he, too, has a inner ear nerve, something wrong in there. And that's the reason why he retired from. He stayed out of shows till 13, and then he quietly announced that he was leaving 38 Special. And which, guess what, kids? That means that at least since the spring, you're down to one original member. Okay, one original member, one guy that's been with them since the late 80s, and another guy that showed up around 89, 90. But it essentially turns it into a tribute band. Same thing for Skynyrd. You got Gary Rossington. Now, I know Ricky Medlock was an original member, yes, but there are other surviving members of Skynyrd. I've been told that, there's been issues between certain camps. So that's why. But essentially, Skynyrd's a tribute act. Molly Hatchet, same thing. There was an original member that actually came back into the fold in 2005, Dave Hulbeck. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Well, I found out in a fan group thread from Molly that he's not in the band right now. In fact, we're not entirely sure if he, if he left the band. Is he on a leave of absence for health reasons? Because that was what was construed in the thread. So basically, Molly's back to being a tribute act again. There's no original members. You have the keyboard player that was there from 83 on and the guitar player that was there from 87 on. All right? What I'm asking you guys is this. Is it important that when you go to a concert that you see some people? Because the music helps to relive, the good memories, right? And the sights and the sounds of seeing these bands. So do you feel, is there been a concert that you've gone to? Put it in the comments down here. Is there a concert that you've gone to that you find out when you get there's not a lick of an original member. There's not even one guy that was on the records. Okay? Which, for example, right now, Grassroots, all right, there's nobody in there. Not one. The minute when Rob Grill died The rest of the band kept going, but there's no original members. Not one person that was on the records. Classics 4, Dennis Yost's band. Well, that one was a slightly different thing. Dennis Yost, he had brain cancer, okay, and he knew he was dying. It was terminal, and he gave his blessing to Classics 4 to continue, okay, but it's still essentially a tribute band. There's no original members, nobody on the records. Another one, this one's going to come as a surprise for some of you people. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. They're back out on the road. And I'm going, interesting. They went to a casino in Oklahoma. And I found out that their new lead singer is he was in American Idol. Is Bo Bice? I think it's Bo Bice. Is the lead singer for Blood, Sweat, and Tears now. And I'm sitting there going, okay. So I Googled, I went around on the band's websites and things to discover there is not one original member. Not one. There's not even a guy that's played on the records. You have a keyboard player that's been there since '90. Okay? And that was what even surprised me, is because I felt ignorant. I thought David Clayton Thomas was still singing. Nope. He hasn't been with that band since '04. So what I'm getting at is this, kids, because I'm almost winding down to my little soapbox time. You love a band so much, you want to go see them, you want to part your hard-earned money, you want to get a shirt, you want to get a CD. Research, okay, before you go to a gig. If you still go and there's nobody there, then that's your choice, right? Right. But for the rest of you guys out there that would feel gypped, angry, robbed, small way, yeah, do your research. That is, we'll pull out an old Psycho Platter chestnut. You always ask because you have to. You're not sure, you can't figure it out on the website. Call the promoter of the concert. Get some sort of an internet. Do you know who's playing? I mean, some promoters are ignorant on this, not intentionally, but they are. I know in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I heard strange stories about promoters not knowing what was going on. They just heard the name and they booked. All right. So I'm not really exactly bashing any of the groups I mentioned, okay? This is just an opinionated piece, so no lawsuits from any of you people. It's just, I'm sorry. I just, when I go to a concert, I like knowing what I'm seeing, all right? And, I know a lot of these band members, we're grateful that some of them are still around, but within 10 years, your 50s, 60s, 70s people, they're going to be gone, most of them, and there ain't going to be anything left. So close up shop with the names, probably, guys, okay? There's probably a lot more other bands I could bring up, but my time is winding down. Please, please, please put your opinions in the comments here. I also want to quickly shout out here, Wax Museum, Ronnie Dark, always the best Sunday night show. Thank you to the new subscribers I've got. I got 93. Let's get to 100. Okay, guys, pretty soon here. Other than that, more news coming up in the next episode of Psycho's Platters. Take care. God bless. Rock on.